Leading by example. Leading by example is a leadership style where you model the behavior you want to see in your team members. Leading by example means that the leader goes ahead and contributes to the public good before the others make their contribution decision. The opposite of leading by example is leading by words, which means that the leader pledges his or her intended contribution before all players choose their contributions simultaneously. So to be effective, project managers must walk the talk and practice what they preach. There are 6 aspects of leading by example. Priorities. Actions speak louder than words. Subordinates and others recognize project managers' priorities by how they spend their time. For example, if a project manager claims that this project is critical and then is perceived as devoting more time to other projects, she won't change her mind and will still focus more on that project. Urgency. Through their actions, project managers can convey a sense of urgency, which can affect all project activities. This urgency can be conveyed through deadlines, frequent status report meetings, and aggressive solutions. The project manager uses these tools to pick up the project's beat. However, such devices will be ineffective if there is no change in the project manager's behavior. If project managers want others to work faster and solve problems quicker, they need to work faster. They should get the frequency of their interactions faster, talk and walk more quickly, get to work sooner, and leave later. By simply increasing the pace of their daily interaction patterns, project managers can reinforce a sense of urgency in others. Problem solving. How project managers respond to problems sets the tone for how others tackle problems. If the project manager is more concerned with finding out who is to blame instead of how to prevent problems from happening again, then others will tend to cover their tracks and cast the blame elsewhere. Cooperation. How project managers act toward outsiders influences how team members interact with outsiders. If project managers set the norm of treating outsiders with respect and being responsive to their needs, then others will more likely follow suit. Standards of performance. If project managers want participants to exceed project expectations, they have to exceed the expectations of a good project manager. For example, they establish a high standard for project performance through the quality of their daily interactions. They respond quickly to the needs of others, carefully prepare and run crisp meetings, stay on top of all the critical issues, facilitate practical problem solving, and stand firm on essential matters. Ethics. How others respond to ethical dilemmas in a project will be influenced by how the project manager responded to similar dilemmas. In other words, team members base their actions on how they think the project manager would respond. If project managers withhold vital information from customers or top management, they are signaling to others that this behavior is acceptable. Why should project managers lead by example? Leading by example increases efficiency because second movers follow their leaders. That means followers condition their voluntary contributions on their leader's earlier contribution. This result provides clear evidence of conditional cooperation, meaning that subjects are more cooperative the more other subjects are expected to be. Real-life stories. President Ho Chi Minh. In a letter to compatriots nationwide published in Kuu Quoc newspaper on September 28, 1945, President Ho Chi Minh wrote, "When we raise our bowls of rice to eat, thinking of the hungry, we can't help but feel moved. So I would like to propose to my compatriots throughout the country, and I would like to do it first, fast for 1 meal every 10 days, 3 meals a month. Bring that rice, 1 cup for each meal, to save the poor. Thus, the poor will have a meal of vegetables and porridge to wait for next year's rice season so they will not starve to death." Before returning to Hanoi, Uncle Ho experienced a long illness in the Viet Bac war zone, so he was still skinny. However, every week on Friday afternoon, the kitchen cooking for Uncle Ho and Mr. Win Thuc Kang, vice president of the country, did not light a fire because the two men still set an example of fasting once a week to save the people's hunger. One day, when Uncle Ho returned from a meeting somewhere, afraid that he was hungry, the kitchen still reserved rice for him, but he firmly refused to eat, even though he had not eaten because that day was right on Uncle Ho's fasting meal to contribute to the saving rice jar. One day, right on the day when the agency was fasting to collect rice, the chief of the political department of the Tuong Joy Thatch Army invited Uncle Ho to attend a heartwarming meal. When Uncle came back, although the officers reported that they had already poured Uncle's rice into the rice jar to fight hunger, he still decided to fast for one meal the next day. Responding to President Ho Chi Minh's call, the Viet Minh Front and hunger relief organizations have mobilized to collect donations, organized a concentric day of fasting to set up a jar of rice to save hunger, establishing a great movement among the masses. Thanks for watching.